Oke, balik lagi.
Yes.
Sini saya mau main Genshin Impact lagi. Setelah kemarin ngeberesin misi ini ya, misi yang jauh berbahaya ini nih, yang bahaya mengintai. Oke, seru banget kemarin ceritanya, tapi cukup lama ya. Per ininya aja, per misinya bisa sejam gitu. Ini yang terakhir kemarin bisa sampai hampir 2 jam malah. Mungkin kalau yang bagian nyari portal itu gagal gitu, mungkin bakal lebih lama ini. Syukurnya kemarin sekitaran 2 jam lah ya. Oke, sekarang ternyata masih ada misi ini ya, misi tambahan lain ya. Jadi dari update 2.7 itu ada misi tambahan nih. Ini ada quest story ini, terus ada yang ini nih, quest dunia nih. Oke, kita coba yang ini dulu, kita lanjutin. Oke, kita ikuti, terus langsung kita jalan ke sini. Oke, gas. Kemarin seru banget ya ceritanya. Mungkin yang belum sempet nyelesain gitu. Wah, itu jangan sampai dilewatin sih. Maksudnya secara cerita bagus, secara visual, aduh keren banget. Biasanya tuh Genshin tuh suka agak kurang ini ya, agak kurang maksimal gitu garapnya. Cuman yang kemarin tuh wah, perpaduan antara banyak hal gitu masuk semua. Apalagi yang diceritain beberapa karakter juga, jadi seru banget. Oke.
Traveler, Paimon, it's been a long time.
Sudah lama sekali.
Oh, hey Hoishin, long time no see. Fancy meeting you here. How's work these days?
Thanks to the help of people like
Oh, ini
you and
sekretaris.
colleagues like Ganyu,
Sekretaris. Oke.
better all the time.
Oke.
But I've been feeling distracted at work
kenapa nih?
lately. It's a long story. But my father,
Tiansu karena
he's thinking of
sesuatu.
stepping
Tiansu
down
apa ya?
from the Tianshu position.
Kurang hafal
to
nama-namanya,
health
pusing.
issues.
What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy. He's always said, old age comes
Semua
for
orang
us
pada
all
akhirnya
in the
akan
end."
menua.
Still, anyway, my father's currently on the 2nd floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come pay him a visit with me?
Oke,
He
ayo.
seems very fond of you too. I'm sure
Sure, let's go.
Oke. Di host tadi Umpan Terstruktur chapter apa tadi? Oke, di sana. Lah. Baru maju berapa langkah? Oh, ketemu itu dong. Ketemu Zhongli. Oh, ada suaranya. Lagi apa sih? Ngomong kamu cepet banget ya. Bisa udah sampai ke kota lagi, hebat. Bagus, kalian berdua bisa tidak bantu bujuk penggiling jual batu kuno miliknya. Oh, menjual. Oh. Aku juga sekarang. Kenapa nggak ada suaranya ini? Awalnya aku kira dia cuma seorang terpelajar yang mengerti budaya dan punya wawasan luas, tapi ternyata dia juga ahli soal sejarah dan mitologi. Karena itulah aku sekarang sering bertanya sama dia. Nggak tahu aja mereka dia Zhongli siapa. Pak Zhongli ini terbaik lah pokoknya, pengetahuannya luas, pola pikirnya menarik, dan kadang banyak cerita yang sulit dipercaya juga. Wow. Aku pernah bilang begini, jadi ceritaku diawali dengan rek lapis yang memahat tubuh. Oh, aduh, berat banget ceritanya. Dari bongkahan batu suci, kemudian diteruskan dengan sepak terjang mereka bahu-membahu bertempur di seluruh penjuru dunia. Seru kali kan? Aduh, seru banget itu. Tapi dia malah berkomentar kisah yang menarik. Namun ada beberapa bagian yang kurang akurat. Beberapa penelitian menyebutkan bahwa rek lapis tidak punya kemampuan yang cukup mumpuni untuk membuat karya sehebat itu. Wow. Menjatuhkan sekali kan komentarnya. Lalu aku juga pernah cerita tentang legenda Qi yang di Xinche Village. Dia tidak percaya kalau makhluk itu kini telah menjelma menjadi pemandangan gunung dan lembah yang menakjubkan. Di kolong langit ini mana ada yang seperti itu, katanya. Mungkin punya terlalu banyak pengetahuan bisa membuat imajinasi jadi tersendat ya. Nggak begitu, Pak. Sayang sekali kalau seorang Zhongli yang begitu berwawasan dan berdua tidak bisa mengapresiasi pembuat artistik. Oke. Kritikmu barusan tepat sasaran. Tian, aku akan merenungkannya. Wadaw. Namun ceritamu selalu mengundang imajinasi yang cenderung liar. Aku hanya menunjukkan beberapa hal yang menarik perhatian seorang pendengar biasa. Dan berharap semoga poin-poin yang kusebutkan bisa berguna. Menjadi pendongeng perlu kepintaran lebih dan pikiran yang tajam. Aku yakin kamu paham semua masukan barusan berasal dari perasaan seorang pendengar yang terus merhatikan cerita. Oh, aku mengerti, aku paham betul niat baik Pak Zhongli. Semua itu supaya aku bisa pendongeng terbaik di Saentero Pelabuhan Liu, kan? Jadi melenceng jadi omongan tadi bukannya lagi bahas batu kuno. Oke, kembali ke topik. Jadi kemarin ini aku cerita penglihatan seorang naga lagi. Gak takut dengarnya apa? Dengarnya bosan apa? Itu tunggu ceritanya. Ada kisah tertentu yang layak diceritakan terus menerus sampai ke ujung waktu. Zhongli, kisah-kisah yang dia rajut memang dimaksudkan untuk diceritakan berulang kali. Perlu waktu dan kreativitas yang tidak sedikit untuk dapat mengarang suatu kisah baru. Pak Zhongli memang paling mengerti. Jadi tempo hari ada seorang kepala penambang atau mungkin mandor lah. Sepertinya yang lewat waktu aku sedang bercerita. Dia lalu bilang, "Kamu tahu Qixing? Di sana ada sebuah batu yang sangat cantik yang memancarkan kilau lembut dan begitu indah. Batu ini dapat ditemukan di sebuah terowongan yang panjang dan berliku di Qixing." Apa iya ya? Dia bilang terowongan. Betul kok. Sepertinya iya. Qixing memang tempat yang misterius. Bahkan Pak Zhongli yang sudah menyambangi berbagai tempat saja belum berkesempatan mengunjungi tempat itu ya. Mungkin karena belum lama berselang, tidak ada seorang pun yang boleh menginjakan kaki di sana. Kegiatan pertambangan baru saja dimulai kembali. Dan kami juga tahu beritanya dari orang. Para penambang bilang batu itu ada di dalam terowongan, tapi tidak ada yang tahu siapa yang menggalinya. Bentuknya juga aneh, meliuk dan berkelok, seakan-akan jalurnya berbentuk karena ada seseorang yang menyeret sesuatu yang teramat besar melewatinya. Wow, apalagi nih? Katanya pemandangan di sana saja sudah amat sangat menakjubkan. Ada yang bilang kalau pernah ada laga pertempuran besar yang terjadi di tempat itu. Tapi siapa yang bertempur di sana ya? Tidak ada yang tahu. Dan mungkin takkan ada yang tahu. Bahkan mungkin pertempuran rek lapis melawan Azada terjadi di sana. Aduh. Ya, aku memang lagi bikin cerita baru sih. Bagus kan kalau jalan ceritanya seperti tadi. Astaga, malah dongeng. Karena itulah aku menggunakan Pak Zhongli mau minta saran dan pendapat. Dan hebatnya ternyata dia punya batu kuno. Dia bilang batu dia beli di pasar. Mata Pak Zhongli bagus dan dia tahu benda macam apa yang harganya tinggi. Aku pikir batu itu bisa jadi peraga yang bagus untuk mendukung ceritaku. Jadi kalau Pak Zhongli setuju, aku mau beli. Zhongli yakin mau jual batunya ke dia? Dada Pak Imun. Tian memang seorang pendongeng yang berbakat dan aku sangat menikmati kisah-kisah dia ceritakan. Suatu kehormatan bisa memberi andil dalam pembentukan kisahnya. Tapi kalau batu ini dia ambil, itu sama saja mencoreng kredibilitas ceritanya. Membahas tentang obrolan kita sebelumnya bukan rek lapis telah mengurung dada di bawah tanah. Asdah. Menurut penelitian para ahli ada banyak gua di terowongan di Qixing. Orang-orang yang tinggal dan mencari nafkah di sana akan merasa risau bila Azdaha benar-benar dikurung di sana. Apa mungkin rek lapis keliru mempertimbangkan hal itu? Wah, masuk akal juga. Iya sih, rek lapis mana mungkin ceroboh gitu. Yoi, mana mungkin kan? Padahal aku sudah siap untuk memberikan kipas kesukaanku sebagai ganti bantu kuno pada punya Pak Zhongli. Gambar apa tuh di kipasnya? Ini adalah kipas lipat yang suka aku pegang waktu cerita. Penglihatan seekor naga. Gambarnya seekor naga yang terbang ke langit, tubuhnya bebas berkelana dan jiwanya melanglang buana sehingga menginspirasi. Wow, sepertinya kipas yang langka sekali ya. Pengen juga jadi kepengen nih. Oh iya, kita kan punya batu kuno juga satu. Apa? Kalau begitu boleh aku minta? Kamu boleh ambil kipasnya. Maaf, izinkan aku menyela. Batu kuno sangat berharga dan kipasmu adalah sebuah karya seni. Sebaiknya kedua benda ini jangan ditukar begitu saja layaknya barang sehari-hari. Bentar, kita coba ubah-ubah nadanya. Nada ini, nada patian. Nada patian teh, gak tau gimana ya. Begitukah? Sejujurnya aku punya lebih dari satu kipas seperti ini sih. Zhongli gimana? Kamu sendiri yang melukis gambar di kipasnya. Itu saja sudah cukup membuatnya spesial. Siapapun yang menyukai ceritamu pasti senang jika bisa mendapatkan kipas itu. Benarkah? Gimana sih nadanya pusing? Benarkah? Aku sungguh beruntung bisa punya pendengar yang sangat menyukai ceritaku. Dan seharusnya tidak berhak minta lebih. Sebenarnya kipas ini dibuat agar suatu hari bisa dihadiahkan kepada para pendengar setiaku yang sepemikiran. Dan kalian termasuk di dalamnya. Bisa dibilang kalau kipas ini memang diperuntukkan buat kalian. Tunggu sebentar, biar aku ambilkan dulu. Rantian mengambil 2 kipas. Dan kalian termasuk di dalamnya. Bisa dibilang kalau kipas ini memang diperuntukkan buat kalian. Tunggu sebentar. Yang tadi dong. Beneran buat kita. Beneran buat aku nih. Tentu saja. Kamu adalah penikmat setia ceritaku. Kamu layak mendapatkannya. Lagi pula aku juga masih punya beberapa, jadi tenang. Ambil saja. Dan Pak Zhongli juga tidak usah sungkan. Ini cuma kipas buat tantangan yang nilainya tidak seberapa. Semoga berkenan. Zhongli itu ngebahas banget soalnya. Ku terima dengan senang. Sama dong kayak Patian. Ku terima dengan senang hati. Terima kasih. Kipas yang sangat indah, layaknya untuk dijaga. Oh ya. Paiman suaranya cempreng-cempreng gitu. Oh ya, kami datang mau tanya sesuatu sama Pak Zhongli. Boleh pinjam dia sebentar? Aku juga membuang waktu kalian ya. Maaf, silakan. Tidak perlu minta maaf, karena tidak ada yang terbuang. Terima kasih. Masih gak ada suaranya. Zhongli, tempo hari kamu ada di Qixing ya? Kamu kan menolongin kami. Terima kasih ya. Xiao bilang dia juga nggak bisa kabur kalau bukan karena kamu. Oh, begitukah? Menarik. Waktu begitu cepat berlalu. Kini bahkan dirinya pun telah belajar membuka diri. Jadi, kamu sebenarnya lagi ngapain di Qixing? Aku ada di Qixing. Ini pertama kalinya aku dengar berita itu. Wow, nggak usah pura-pura bodoh deh. Aku jadi beda. Wow, nggak usah pura-pura bodoh. Pura-pura bodoh? Kenapa? Kipas ini kualitasnya memang bagus sekali. Zhongli. Susah dah. Ini intronya ini ya. Sekarang ini aku senggang dan aku sering menghabiskan waktu untuk jalan-jalan. Apapun yang kutemui dalam perjalanan, semua adalah karya takdir. Aku tidak akan berkomentar. Cukup menyenangkan rasanya bisa bepergian ke banyak tempat dan menyaksikan berbagai hal di dunia ini. Membuatku mengenang masa lalu. Kamu kangen zaman dulu ya? Tidak juga. Sekarang ini aku cuma manusia fana. Kefanaan berarti hidup menikmati masa sekarang. Seekor naga yang terbang ke langit Tubuhnya bebas berkelana dan jiwanya melanglang buana. Memang sangat menginspirasi. Kita bebas berkelana ke seluruh penjuru dunia, menyaksikan tempat dan hal yang tersembunyi di balik pegunungan dan perairan. Kurasa nanti aku harus lebih banyak lagi jalan-jalan. Oh, udah gitu doang dong. Kok yang kipas? Oh yang tadi yang kipas toh. Lah. Pantas nggak ada suaranya. Sini kan nggak bisa masuk. Lantai 2. Hah? Oh ini. Paman Tian yang tadi bukan sih? Kayak yang tadi.
Uncle Tian, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make a... I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your
Paman
adventures.
baik-baik saja kan?
Oishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry, I'm quite alright. It's... as I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things...
Tahun belakangan ini aku sering merasa kurang tenaga.
I am still very much
Ya, semua orang
in good
masih menghormatiku
standing
sebagai
as the
Tianshu.
today.
Tapi aku ingin posisi ini diberikan ke orang yang layak sebelum
I
benakku
wish to
juga
pass
menyusul
on the
ikut
position
menurun kondisinya.
before my...
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique, but historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in
Tianshu itu
public.
apaan ya?
We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice.
So in other words, you pick someone,
Terus kayak
and then
gimana
Lady
Ningguang?
Qixing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to
Aku bisa
my
menilai
health,
para kandidat itu
I
sendiri.
won't be
Iya sih.
not to despair.
Tidak usah takut karena aku
Because
sudah
I
dapat
found
tempat
someone
untuk mewakili.
exceptionally capable to act on my behalf
Oh,
as
Yelan datang
assessment
lagi.
officer.
Oh?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
Wow.
What do you think?
Iya sih,
I
kesempatan.
think so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing.
All right then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a
Paman
good
tidak merasa
Tianshu?
aku cocok jadi Tianshu, malah menawarkan diri.
Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let... So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position,
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment,
Waduh,
this runs on the
mau
house.
beli kedainya dong.
You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore.
Oh,
So he's
pembeliannya.
recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingguo, and
Shanwei,
Zhi.
Mingbo, Xinyi.
Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingguo works at the loop. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Qianwei,
Otomatis dulu.
Ningguo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does he easiest.
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Oke, lanjut kita ke sini lewat atas. Turun ke bawah. Oke. Mana nih? Ya, kita turun dengan cepat. Aduh. aduh.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair.
Aduh, udah ngeluh lagi nih orang.
I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for...
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about
Toh tidak
this?
ada aturan kalau
There's
kita
no
tidak boleh
rule
duduk
saying
selagi
we're
menunggu.
obliged to
Kenapa
stand
tidak
up
pilih
while we
kursi
wait.
saja kantor
So
terdekat?
Fine.
Boleh juga.
They're
Yang
not the
jelek
best
juga
quality
tidak masalah
chairs, to
soalnya
be
sekarang kita
sure.
lagi butuh.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment. I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and
Perencanaan
planning,
dan 2
and
tanya
face-to-face
jawab.
In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In this, writing a
Emang nulis
manifesto
ini
takes
lagi.
time, so I
Ngurusin
informed them of this
surat-surat.
requirement in
Ngurusin
advance. These are the reports they submitted.
registrasi.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us there's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Nah, jadi Guriho yang disuruh-suruh. Proposal. Intinya proposalnya dia menjabarkan solusi yang tepat dan jelas untuk sebelumnya minta ampun, jadi kamu cuma baca sekilas saja dengan cepat. Soal membahas tentang isu-isu perdagangan, analisa dia regulasi dan ini pentingnya, demikian pandangan Qianwei. Proposal Mingbo isinya tentang isu-isu domestik, kesejahteraan warga dibahas dengan sangat komprehensif. Hajat hidup orang banyak, politik, keadilan sosial bagi seluruh rakyat. Wow. Pancasila demi pandangan Mingbo. Oke, balik ke Yelan.
Finished, huh?
Everyone took it very
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to... That's for me to know and you to find out.
Oh.
We can talk. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chen.
Yes, ma'am.
Dan bos Qianwei masuk.
Oh, so you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I
Astaga,
certainly hadn't
ngomel
imagined
mulu
I'd be
dah.
seeing two entirely I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was—
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward.
Astaga.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo.
Okay.
I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days. My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also
Tangan
responsible
kota
for,
audit
auditing the accounts.
Bisa lagi ada
To
3
be more
bagian
precise,
itu.
Is it just Paimon or...
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh,
Z.
Hello. Not gonna lie, What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Langsung ditembak.
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these. Of course, two different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach two very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're
Ingin
focusing on.
menerapkan suatu sistem
What I've tried
keseimbangan
to do
dengan
is
kata
strike
lain
a
memberikan
balance.
solusi yang
In
optimal
other
untuk
words,
suatu
present an
masalah.
optimal
Lihat
solution
dari
to
sudut
all the
pandang
problems
keseluruhan.
as a whole.
Ini kita kayak lagi ini ya, kayak lagi rapat beneran nih, kayak lagi wawancara beneran.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being
Paling
the optimal
optimal.
one?
A great question. Well,
Aku akan
I'd
mulai
start
dari
by
minta
having my colleagues and the
kolega
secretaries
dan
of the
diskusi.
UAI Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Wow, ini nih yang dicari nih.
Nice answer. All right.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was...
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many
Menuliskan banyak
excellent
ide brilian
ideas
untuk
in his
visi
manifesto,
besar.
but he is very
Orangnya
proud
arogan
and
dan
incredibly stubborn.
tegar.
He doesn't
Dia
care
juga
much
tidak
about
punya
other
perasaan
people's
orang.
feelings. Mingguo's plan is more thorough
Mata
and
kunci dan
more
rapi,
measured.
dia orang
You can
sangat
tell he's
perhatian dengan
meticulous in his
pekerjaan yang
work, very
semua detailnya.
detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei
Dia
are otherwise polar
berlawanan
opposites.
sekali
Mingguo
dengan
is not
Qianwei.
very
Dia
articulate and
tidak
comes
bicara
across
dan
as very
terkesan lebih
timid in
penakut ketika
conversation.
bicara.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more.
Last but not least, Zhi.
Cara jangan
His
sangat masuk
manifesto
akal
is
segala
full of
macam
pertinent
isu.
details, his methodology is sound, and his proposal, the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tian's. Having someone like Zhi take the position would certainly...
Great.
We'll see.
Oke, lapor lagi. Oh, nggak mati. Kirain bakal mati tadi. Oke. Terbang, teleport. Ke kedai lagi. Ntar, ini apa sih? Jualan apa, Nek? Si nenek jual apa ini? Berapaan? 150.000. Flora jitter apa ini? Oke, kita cobain apaan sih? Tiba-tiba ada ini. Alat musik, oke. Z. Oh. Aduh. Oke lah, lumayan buat mainan. Oke, balik lagi ke mana sih? Kelewat. Kok hilang? Salah jalan pantas. Oke. Paman Tian.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Juri's manifesto are very similar.
I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only but Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle
Oh,
Tian?
dari
Xin
mana?
Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work.
Dia kebetulan yang menyenangkan.
As for it, we first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics.
Power of orang dalam nih, dekat sama ketuanya.
Juri came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student, and he reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing, and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite.
Seperti keluarga.
And now, all of a sudden, the young are growing up, and I am growing old.
Waktu begitu
How
cepat
time
berlalu,
flies.
roda kehidupan terus berputar.
No,
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have...
oh, you. There's really no need to
Nah,
console
sekarang aku
me.
jadi punya alasan untuk
Having less
pensiun.
energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing.
Oke,
Sounds
latihan
like you
pensiun.
sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
Paman.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any prepper.
Fresh fish soup.
Malah ke makanan.
See?
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, when we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But it might...
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've...
I appointed you as... Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with... This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard... Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after...
Jaga kesehatan.
So, it's gonna be Juri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the
Semua
person of
informasi
interest
dari satu
themselves.
sumber saja.
The truth is almost always
Kebenaran
hidden
selalu ada
beneath
di balik
many
tabir
layers of
berlapis dan
deception.
hanya akan
You
terkuak
have to
setelah
get
semua
information from
diungkapkan
many
lewat
different channels.
berbagai sumber
For
informasi.
example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Nah, tiba-tiba ada itu. Ada prajurit.
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and as my trusted assistants. They are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right?
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Tapi bajunya bagus nih, bawahannya Yelan.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Zhi, well, obviously as the most promising candidate.
Wow.
Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's,
Udah. Masih lanjut. Oh, masih lanjut. Oke. Kita nyari informasi tentang
What's Bulai doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsetias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept
ya
your
kalau gitu sih ya
asking
sudah
price.
aku ambil,
I'll
aku
take
buang
all your
semua, tidak usah
stock.
urusan sama
Don't
Second
sell a
Life.
single one.
Bola itu yang mana?
Oh, what are you doing here? And
Oh,
to
boy.
be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called...
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was
muda dan
young,
dia
and he
dikucilkan
was
oleh
treated. One
lingkungannya.
of his neighbors was
Ya,
terribly
tangganya
rude to
kurang
him
ajar
all the
sekali sama dia,
time.
tapi tidak
But
pernah
Juri
balas
never
baliknya waktu orang itu.
And when his
Menurut
neighbor
dia
went
menolong
bankrupt, he
keluarganya.
returned cruelty with kindness.
Kejahatan dibalas dengan
Injustice
kebaikan.
with peace offerings. A
Keadilan
gentleman
dibangun
of
perdamaian.
talent and character. And oh, how did I not notice him sooner?
Oh, he sounds like a decent man.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking
Bukan mau
for
cari
a
duit
brand
tapi di sini juga
ambassador
kan.
too? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... Ah, that's Juri right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on,
Ya,
let's follow.
ikuti.
Try not to let him see you. We want this.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
Bisnis mulu dah.
I
Aduh.
understand. Let's walk and talk.
Mulai lagi. Punten, Pak.
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Oke. Kok ada chest di situ?
The truth is, an old friend of mine
Yes, kalau
likes to have a
kalau-
drink now and then.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you.
Oh, jangan dekat. Kirain ngumpet di balik kotak bisa. Ya maaf. Baru belajar, Pak.
try not to let him see you. We want this.
I
Dimarahin
understand.
Yelan,
Let's
dimarahin
walk
Yelan.
and talk.
My friend, what can I get you?
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Kok nggak bisa? Oke. Kita jadi gentong.
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Kok jadi mencurigakan?
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure,
Dengan
Mr.
senang hati,
Juri.
di masa
These
sekarang ini
days,
jarang
it's
sekali
quite
ada orang
rare for
dengan
someone of your
status
standing
bercanda
to
yang
still
masih
keep up
berhubungan
with their
dengan
old
teman
friends.
lama. Ini
It's
kejadian.
nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set
Usahakan
for you.
set yang bagus
You
untuk
can
Anda.
count on
Silakan
me.
padaku. Oke, beres. Gitu doang.
Juri seems to get along really well. Are you satisfied now, Yelan?
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri because you want to be...
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But
Kalau
hey,
aku yang jadi
if
Tiansu,
I
kalian
do
juga yang
become
enak loh.
Tianshu, you'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the south wharf we go!
Aduh, disogok pakai makanan. Oke, investigasi di South Wall. Sebelah mana? Sebelah mana? Oh, bahas ini. Jauh ya. Oke, berlari-lari. Berlari-lari. Mana nih? Oke. Sampai.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers.
Paman Sun. Paman Sun berarti pedagang ikan. Kan? Ikan kan?
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liu. We've heard about this young man called Juri, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman.
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet... apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside... How does that saying go? What doesn't
Besi
kill you makes
menajamkan
you
besi.
stronger. Well, if there's anything to that
Orang
logic,
menajamkan
he's sure to be
sesamanya.
phenomenally
Wow.
successful one day.
Yeah, we think so.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might...
Hah?
Why is that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though,
Iniin
I
beneran.
do know a few top anglers I
Ditawarin
could put
beneran.
you in touch with.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right.
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Oke. Pencet. Malah main gitar. Ngobrol sama siapa? Tukang ikan lagi. Oh iya.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry when they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price
Dari bagian
Research.
pendatang
We'd just
harganya.
like to ask a few questions.
Kok jadi beda?
Wow, she switched identity again.
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Jur-E who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died
Oh,
when he
waktu
was
dia masih
very young,
kecil.
and his alcoholic father still owed a huge
Tidak
amount
ada
of
yang
debt.
mau berurusan
No
dengan
one
dirinya.
wanted anything to do with
Utang.
him. He was
Okay.
still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head, and he managed to survive. Thanks to
Mantian,
Uncle
sampai
Tien,
hari ini dia
who
masih
gave
belum
him
bisa
some
dibilang
food.
hidup
But still to
berkelimpahan.
I mean, he can afford
Dia cukup
to
makan dan
eat
cukup hidup, tapi
everything,
dia
but
sering
you'll
tawar-menawar
often
kalau
see
beli
him
sesuatu,
haggling with
padahal
others
harganya
over
juga cuma
just
turun
a few
sedikit.
mora.
Jadi aku tidak bakal
I
kaget sih
wouldn't be
kalau dia
surprised
jual
to
ikan.
find out it's not like he catches much
Tangkapannya juga
anyway,
tidak
so
banyak dan
it's
tidak
not
bakal
going to
berpengaruh
affect
ke
my
usahaku.
business.
Oh iya, aku berurusan
Don't
sama
tell
dia
him I
ya.
said.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people. I think he has pretty low self-esteem.
Oh,
But
minder.
hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people, and nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him. That's
I see. Well,
not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
doesn't have a lot of mora to his...
Oke, ngobrol lagi. Ini ngobrol-ngobrol mulu dah.
Hey, it's you guys. Wait, what's the phrase?
Dugu
Honor
suo.
to me. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great
Ganti
martial
lagi jadi
artist,
dunia
Master
persilatan.
Dugu, who knows everything there is to know.
Really? People said I know everything there is to
Aduh,
know?
ngebohongin anak kecil.
But of course, we also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this...
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu,
Soal
have
seorang
you
bernama
heard of
Z.
one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of jury. For example, I can't remember. Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember
Pendekar dulu
roughly
kira-kira kapan
when the
para orang
grown-ups
semua
started
sering
talking
bicarakan
about
Ji?
Jur-E?
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about jury in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months
Tapi sejak
ago,
2-3
suddenly
bulan lalu
everyone
tiba-tiba
started to
banyak
like
yang
him.
menyukai kan. Dulu waktu
Sometimes he gives me candies.
permen
So
aku
I'm glad
jadi
that
suka
people
sama
are
dia
starting
sekarang.
Just as I thought.
Huh?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the...
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about juries.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Wah,
Well
pendekar
then,
dulu.
fare thee
Namanya kita
well,
berjodoh
Master
kembali di dunia
Dugu.
persilatan.
Until we meet again.
Wow. Jago banget ya.
Any of that sounds strange to you?
Aku bingung.
Strange. Juri seems to have a great reputation.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
Ah, itu sih.
Sudden? Too good to be true.
So he returns cruelty with kindness and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown.
Tapi Paman Sun bilang
Uncle Sun said even his
kemanapun
friends
temannya
who travel
pergi kalau ada
far and
cerita tentang
wide
dia
hear about
itu
him
berlebihan.
wherever. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Juri's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Juri has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months. His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are the...
When you put it like that...
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Juri was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has right, and that changes everything.
Menjadi lebih rumit,
It
mungkin
could mean
ada
a powerful
faksi sentri
faction
yang
is
punya
trying to gain
pengaruh di Liu
influence over the Liu
Qixing.
at Qixing. That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That's even if we asked Juri about it, surely there's no way he'd admit...
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance. Whoever is secretly helping Juri must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Juri. Come on, let's get back to...
Aduh, rumit banget dah. Mau pelantikan juga. Oke. Balik lagi ke Tihos. Oke. Deket ya. Aduh. Malah jatuh lagi. Nah. Dibet-bet. Mana?
Juri's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up? Be like trying to find an... I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Juri, the fact remains that he's one of his... Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
Okay.
Be still.
Bisa prosa. Yang ini ya. Gak bisa sambil duduk kah?
Even though Yelan took half, well...
Pusing bacanya. Tentang rakyat yang membicarakan ada kelapis, kegiatan, hambatan. The Clifford sudah lama menganggur di area Golden House.
Oh, this reading is giving time at... let's take...
Pusing.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers!
Sanghua.
If you're
Sanghua.
back, that means you finished...
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to...
Don't drag this out. Just...
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had
Masih
interactions
ngeluh
with
soal
Qianwei will
Soviet yang
start out
sombong.
complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give the young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless
Sikap
of their
adil tanpa
background.
membela latar belakangmu.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses?
In theory, that should be very difficult, but here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating when you think about it.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make more.
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experience.
I'm back! Huh?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills and am always one step ahead.
You... whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of, Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbua.
Well, we're all...
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbua struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's... But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very...
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Mingbua at all...
I don't believe so. Mingbua is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he... According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Mingbua to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval.
Wow, berpengaruh ya?
Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbua gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he...
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Like I said before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah, so that's what you meant by that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get it now.
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the map? I can't see any immediate problems looking at the only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan. Qingshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an...
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blow... The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants...
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto? Oh yeah! Zhi-Yi said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first...
Did he now? Well, that makes everything
Pihak
much clearer.
Blackcliff Forge
So
yang
Zhi-Yi wants the
diatakan.
Blackcliff Forge.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhi-Yi?
No, not likely.
Sudah
I've
pernah
looked
main.
into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful faction. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risk. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead.
Oh, jadi mata-matain. Lewat mana nih? Oh, bisa lewat atas.
What about Zhi-Yi? Is there another side to him too?
Oke, pelan-pelan. Pelan-pelan 100 meter, pelan-pelan. Oke.
Let's take shelter for the time being.
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
Catatan. Hari gajian ada 3 anak buah yang gabung. Tidak disangka masih ada orang yang bisa gabung sama orang sangat dan angkat jadi ketua.
What's this?
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But it seems they also use it as a... We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already been promoted. At this rate, by the time the Qixing pool redevelop, that'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret tech. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Zhi recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, at most we would... No red flags if all they did was change some key staff. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure. So, who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker.
Tanya Iron Soldier.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about...
You want them to teach you? I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learner. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But I guess they just need some time to adjust. I'm sure.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor to drink. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain stopped, they went out drinking again right away. Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them.
Interesting. Let's... Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easily, but let's follow them.
Jadi mata-mata.
He went that way. Hurry, we gotta catch up.
Okay. Joknya ke kanan.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Kemana? Kemana? Oh, kesini. Oh, kesini dong. Whoa.
The footprints stop here. But, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination...
Ini satu. Dua. Dan mana tadi dua lagi? Ketinggian. Kesegasannya kemungkinan dihasilkan dari tikar bambu.
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything...
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Blackcliff Forge? They've gotta go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clear to me, that says that whoever's...
Darn! Guess this...
Make no mistake. I smelled something peculiar the moment Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odor.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything.
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far as... Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of when that fragrant ink is burned. This is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's
Fatuy
all I
lagi dong,
need.
Fatuy.
Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next...
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shang. I sent him to look into Zhi-Yi's regular contacts. Since Zhi-Yi likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors. I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Zhi-Yi before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, someone managed it. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Zhi-Yi once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear?
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a...
Interesting.
Bohong ya.
Then I wonder how that even more wonderful...
Fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some... Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Zhi-Yi, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's that.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially when he thinks he's... Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at Yohai Pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll... Be sure to arrive on time. You won't...
Waduh. Masih panjang dong. Sembilan kan? 9 sampai jam 11. Oke, pergi ke Yohai. Pergi ke Yohai Pavilion untuk melaporkan hasil investigasi. Aduh.
It
Jatuh
looks
lagi.
like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates.
Juga harus
And
memberikan
now,
jawaban
it
yang
falls to me to give him
memuaskan
a
untuk dia.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush. Just get out.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail. And Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough. And because of his personality, he's struck. In contrast, Zhi-Yi is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys an after much consideration. I have decided to
Apa nama
recommend
Ji kepada
Zhi-Yi.
What?
Oh, thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become... Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future? And take...
I'll have to see. I'm in a bed.
I don't mind.
as long as I can.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Jur-E, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before
Baru
you're
kamu akan
informed of your
bekerja keras
official
dan membuat
appointment.
pementian
I
bangga.
will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal.
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a...
Juri seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy... If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't...
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able...
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
We finally got rid of them.
Lady Yelan, Juri has gone towards Feiyun's...
Follow him, quickly.
So Juri really sided with the...
Di mana itu? Oke, jalan aja.
But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Jadi ninja jalan di genteng. Okay, lanjut.
Sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him with...
How the heck did he manage to... I guess Juri didn't let us go.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired.
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So,
Xinyue Kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get close enough to check without blowing our cover. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been to arrest him there and then. But without any evidence, that would have been... So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue Kiosk.
good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. The key is figuring... Let's go to Xinyue Kiosk.
Okay.
Xinyue Kiosk, the place to go for classic Yue dishes.
Xinyue Kiosk.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I...
Okay, fair enough, but...
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did...
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered agent...
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here to...
Liquor and wineware. I see.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
Oh. Bikin satu orang ini juga ya, rumit. Rumit juga.
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Jur-E ordered a wanware set. We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering...
Sure. Which model?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. let's just go with Jur-E's.
Jur-E picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel, just so you're aware. We don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Jur-E has taken one...
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Jur...
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Jur-E...
Okay. Thanks, Lin Long. Seems there's a little more to buying one.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. Alright.
Alright.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank.
It's not like you did any...
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Yelan, so is the... Oh, if we can't figure out where Juri went, there's...
If so, it's no ordinary.
What do you mean?
First of all, Jur-E isn't much of a drinker. On some level, if he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a... No, this is a victory feast. Held in honor of Jur-E's, whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status. Now where might we find Fatui who match that...
Fatui officials... should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move?
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Jur-E may be, in which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Juri bought that liquor for.
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Jur-E is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other...
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jur-E may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yen...
Aduh, nggak bisa berkata-kata lagi, udah puyeng. Oke. Jalan aja lah. Mau teleport tapi deket. Oke, ketemu Yelan lagi.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone.
Qingshu Pool? That's the...
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Since Qingshu Pool is always crawling with mob...
Oh no, we gotta...
Let's go. If my hunch is correct...
Wow, beres dong, capek. Qingshu Pool di mana? Oh, sini. Wah, luas juga ya.
This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Follow me. Ambil box dulu.
If only I stumbled upon lab supplies as often.
Mana pintunya? Ini kah? Oh iya itu.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be... The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a much... Still, Be ready to fight at any moment.
Don't worry, we're all By the way, Yelan, where are you?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them.
Aduh, masuk ke domain lagi. Oke. Butuh Geo. Tapi musuhnya apa ya? Nggak dikasih tahu ya. Oke. Udah bodoh, ini aja. Puyeng. Kan langsung lawan.
Cascade.
Right here. Emerge.
Busted. As I expected.
Mantap.
But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Guys, see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Ji. Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's...
Kemana tadi aku sana?
Take it easy. This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight.
Tertutup rapat. Kemana
Trying
nih?
to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another
Cari
way.
jalan lain. Oh. Ya, nyangkut.
Right here. Right now.
Nice and spicy. Animal test 6308.
Be still.
Stand clear.
Oke, dapat box. Apa ini? Apaan tuh? Terus bawa ke mana? Naik lagi kah? Oh ini. Oh, bisa begitu.
The water's gone down.
Udah ada jembatan, ini ada ini. Aduh. Oke, naik kan? Oke, terus naik lagi ternyata. Tapi tadi ada musuh, gimana nih? Lama. Malah berenang.
Gotcha.
Oke, mana lagi? Nyari ini lagi kah? Nyangkut. Ngebug. Nyangkut. Lah. Apa lagi nih? Hah? Harus nyurutin airnya lagi, cuman gimana caranya? Mulai, puyeng lagi mulai. Aduh. Tadi kan dari atas sana. Terus dapat jalan ke sini. Bukan sininya. Terus tadi dapat jalan ke sini. Terus naik. Udah sampai sini doang. Tadi musuh di sana. Ini kah? Tadi musuh di sini terus apa? Terus apa? Oh ini. Nah.
Quietly now.
Right here, right now. Emerge.
Jalannya mau mati.
6308. Boba, get them.
Busted.
Oke. Itu kalangan.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Malah nemu chest. Gimana kah? Ini kalangan sama ini. Oh iya ya. Udah. Sip. Ini terus kita ke sana. Ada chest lagi. Dorong. 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 Oke, ini aman. Aduh. Ribet banget mau masuk ke sana juga. Oh, itu tuh buat air.
The waters flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay.
Patung.
Now we should be able to move the statues.
Ya, kapan ada patung? Ini. Nah. Oh, suruh ke cahaya ya? Karena cahaya ya? Ini satu. Sip. Ini dorong sana. Dorong sana lagi, nggak bisa. Oke, ini dorong ke sana. Dorong ke sana.
Take it easy.
Dorong ke sana, oke. Coba dulu. Oh, ini puterin. Oke, gampang. Oke. Sip. Mantap.
The door is open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Right now. Right here. Right now. Swirl, Mark 2!
Mind the deluge.
You're toast!
Things are about to
Jalan, jangan mati dong, jalan.
Be still.
Mantap. Lah, Hayato yang mati. Oh, ada gua. Oh.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine. Come on, bottoms up.
Masa nggak kedengeran tadi ada air jatuh, terus air terjun apa?
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us. You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one... I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup. Come on, another round. Less time.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home.
Look, I know
Politik,
it has not
urusan
been easy
politik.
for you, my friend. But I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poison. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting... What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of...
It struck me one...
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jurye's doing.
Wah, pantas.
What a nasty guy.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We...
Excellent. We've seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the... But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on us. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you...
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the... The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think...
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people... Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingboa had reputation. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home.
Yes.
You know the best... heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui...
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time. So the Fatui... Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays it.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my...
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good
Mencurigakan.
stuff. Huh? Jur-E, you...
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusuf.
You...
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare... You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet?
Wow, comeback.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation...
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to... I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives. The roof...
Whoa. What?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing... The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade but things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to... Faced with the overwhelming evidence, it explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Wah, ngeri banget.
Jur-E, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? After I die, they'll...
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophon.
How?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophon to thank for providing me with the... He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor!
Aduh, kesel banget.
Jur-E, you...
Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
Waduh, bawa pasukan. Wow. digerebek.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything.
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
Bye-bye.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
Dia pingin.
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think?
Iya sih, pemantian kasihan selalu percaya.
Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
Iya.
That's enough. That's enough.
Aku jadi sedih.
Life is like fishing.
Flashback.
Cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jur-E these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Genshin
Yelan
tomorrow
ngajakin
morning.
yang
I'll have someone
ribet-ribet.
remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals.
Hati.
Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, This'll be a straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Sampai jumpa besok. Wah, akhirnya beres di sini. Ngobrol-ngobrol dikit kali ya. Terus udah selesai. Oke, jam 8. Oh, udah subuh. Udah tengah malam. Gas.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much.
Wah.
You're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. Yes, the exhaustions.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such...
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Iya sih. Udah kayak keluarga sendiri.
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu. When I first met Juri, I wondered if he had a... I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. In the end, even he changed. I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field. Family, I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy, and very... The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk. but Zhi was still extremely careful with the poison. He chose that specific liquor from Xingyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison. And he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before he also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the... Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui...
But that's still really...
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote.
Wow.
How is Jerry now?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep...
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him?
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might...
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it's...
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't understand.
Paimon nggak ngerti.
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, with Yusupov in our hands and a statement from Zhi, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options. Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond so quickly.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved. The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity that Theophan got away, but knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there... Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. All right, I'm done here. Time for me to go.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed. It's for me to know, but I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another... Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian. After the recent turn of events...
Wow. Wow, beres juga dong. Wow, mantap. Agak puyeng ya ngurusin mata-matain gitu-gitu. Wah. Oke, thank you yang nonton. Segini aja videonya. Kita nyelesain quest. Thank you. Mungkin nanti kalau ada quest lain kita cobain ya. Dadah.